Imagine uncovering a secret so profound it could rewrite history as we know it. Deep in the Ethiopian highlands lies an ancient library, untouched by time, holding the forbidden truths of the universe. But why were these texts hidden, and what could they mean for us today? Stick around to find out, because what you're about to hear could change your perspective forever. And if you love mysteries like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. The story begins with a mysterious, dust-covered library hidden deep in the Ethiopian highlands. A scholar discovers an ancient tome, its leather-bound cover embossed with golden script. Inside lies the Ethiopian Bible, containing 88 books, long suppressed for their powerful revelations. The scholar finds cryptic symbols hinting at cosmic battles and hidden prophecies, igniting a quest to uncover the truth. The scholar's curiosity leads them to an old monk, the keeper of the library. The monk warns of the dangers within the forbidden texts, recounting tales of angelic wars, fallen entities, and truths that challenged early Christianity. Despite the monk's cautions, the scholar presses on. The monk gives a cryptic blessing, acknowledging the inevitability of the journey. Diving into the texts, the scholar reads of the celestial rebellion led by the Watchers, angels who defied divine law. They descended to earth, sharing forbidden knowledge and creating the Nephilim. The vivid descriptions bring the celestial war to life, as the scholar begins to see parallels in modern struggles. The scholar stumbles upon a prophecy hidden in the Book of Enoch, foretelling the rise of a messianic figure. The prophecy hints at the Son of Man and the final judgment, aligning eerily with modern apocalyptic theories. The scholar is shaken, but determined to uncover more. The text details the Watchers, celestial beings tasked with observing humanity. Over time, they succumb to earthly desires, descending to earth and revealing forbidden knowledge, the art of warfare, enchantments, and cosmic secrets. Their union with human women birthed the Nephilim, giant offspring that wreaked havoc on the earth. The scholar visualizes their arrival as a cataclysmic event that reshaped early civilizations, cementing humanity's loss of innocence. God, angered by the chaos wrought by the Watchers, sends archangels Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel to intervene. The text vividly describes their mission to bind the fallen Watchers in darkness until Judgment Day. The scholar feels a growing tension, sensing parallels with current events as humanity once again faces unbridled technological and spiritual advances. The Nephilim, monstrous and power-hungry, are depicted as wreaking havoc on the world. They enslave humanity and wage wars, leading God to cleanse the earth through the Great Flood. The scholar envisions their fall as the precursor to humanity's fragile relationship with divine power. The vivid description in the text feels like an omen. Turning to the Book of Jubilees, the scholar uncovers its meticulous retelling of biblical history, emphasizing cycles of 49 years and strict adherence to divine laws. It introduces a solar calendar intended to align humanity with God's time. The scholar is struck by the detailed laws and their prophetic warnings about disobedience. These laws, rooted in cosmic order, challenge modern concepts of time and morality. The Ascension of Isaiah takes the scholar on a spiritual journey through 7 heavens, witnessing the Messiah's descent and victory over Satan. The text's vivid imagery of celestial hierarchies and cosmic battles reinforces the scholar's belief that these texts are more than history, they are a guide for humanity's spiritual alignment. The scholar delves into Ethiopian history, learning how the nation became a spiritual stronghold. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church preserved the Ark of the Covenant and sacred texts, resisting colonization and Western religious dominance. This resilience, tied to divine purpose, resonates deeply with the scholar, inspiring reverence. The scholar discovers Ethiopian oral traditions surrounding the Queen of Sheba. More than a visitor to King Solomon, she is portrayed as a divine emissary, returning to Ethiopia with wisdom and a son, Menelik I. This son, destined for greatness, allegedly brought the Ark of the Covenant to Ethiopia. This tale transforms the scholar's understanding of Ethiopian Christianity, painting it as a lineage directly linked to Israel's divine mission. The deeper implications of this story resonate, showing Ethiopia not as a marginal Christian outpost, but as a central guardian of sacred truths. The scholar begins to suspect that the preservation of the Ethiopian texts was no accident, but part of a grander design. The scholar reads about the early Christianization of Ethiopia, learning that it was not through European influence, but by the Apostle Philip and early Christian missionaries. The story of Ethiopia's adoption of Christianity during the Aksumite kingdom's height reveals a kingdom eager to preserve the original faith. The scholar marvels at Ethiopia's ability to integrate Christianity with its ancient traditions, resisting the theological homogenization imposed by Western powers. The Ethiopian Orthodox Bible emerges as a testament to this spiritual independence, untouched by the edits and exclusions of Western church councils. Among the texts, the scholar uncovers Ethiopia's claim to house the Ark of the Covenant in a guarded chapel in Aksum. Legends speak of priests who protect it, living in seclusion, never leaving the chapel grounds. These priests, chosen for their piety, dedicate their lives to this sacred mission. The scholar begins to question the Ark's symbolic role in connecting Ethiopia directly to God's favor, and wonders if its guardianship ties into the survival of the forbidden books. Delving deeper into history, the scholar uncovers the Council of Nicaea's pivotal role in shaping the Western Bible. The council excluded books deemed too mystical, speculative, or tied to Judaism. The scholar imagines the debates, fiery arguments over orthodoxy, attempts to unify Christian doctrine, and fears of theological chaos. Ethiopia, untouched by these debates, retained the excluded books, offering a unique perspective on divine mysteries. The scholar returns to the Book of Enoch, now fully immersed in its vivid prophecies. The book's descriptions of cosmic hierarchies, the rebellion of the Watchers, and the final judgment seem to parallel modern chaos. The scholar begins to wonder if humanity, once again tampering with forbidden knowledge, is repeating history. The book's apocalyptic warnings feel eerily prescient. As the scholar uncovers the cryptic prophecy in the Book of Enoch, one question lingers. Could these ancient warnings be pointing directly to events unfolding in our world today? What do you think is history repeating itself? Or are these just fascinating coincidences? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As the scholar turns to the Book of Jubilees, they uncover its emphasis on the solar calendar, a precise 364-day system said to align with divine order. The text suggests that humanity's deviation from this calendar led to a misalignment with God's plan, allowing chaos to infiltrate creation. The scholar reflects on how humanity's detachment from sacred rhythms has impacted its spiritual trajectory. This revelation sparks an internal debate. Was the Western Church's embrace of the lunar calendar a deliberate step away from divine truth? The scholar's thoughts turn to Ethiopia, where this solar system remains in practice, preserving a forgotten harmony with creation. The chapter ends with the scholar gazing at the Ethiopian sun, pondering the cosmic balance. Diving into the Ascension of Isaiah, the scholar becomes engrossed in the prophet's journey through the heavens. The text describes Isaiah ascending through the 7 celestial realms, each more radiant than the last, encountering angelic beings and witnessing the cosmic struggle between good and evil. The scholar envisions Isaiah's ultimate revelation, the descent of the Messiah, veiled in humility, to confront and overcome Satan's dominion. These passages shake the scholar, as they seem to foreshadow modern spiritual battles. The Ascension's profound imagery and message of hope reignite the scholar's determination to unveil these truths to the world. Returning to the tale of the Nephilim, the scholar examines their role in human history. These hybrid beings, born of forbidden unions, introduced chaos and advanced knowledge that corrupted humanity. The scholar's imagination races, envisioning ancient civilizations shaped by this dangerous knowledge, architecture, weapons, and mystical rituals born of their influence. The text suggests that remnants of their existence still linger in humanity's collective memory. The scholar is haunted by the idea that modern advancements may be echoes of this corrupted knowledge, leading humanity further from divine alignment. The scholar delves into Ethiopia's historical resilience, reading accounts of its defiance against colonial forces that sought to suppress its religious traditions. Italy's invasion of Ethiopia is described not only as a battle for land, but as an attempt to dismantle its spiritual independence. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church's unwavering commitment to preserving its sacred texts becomes a symbol of defiance. The scholar envisions the Church as a bastion of truth, standing against the tides of colonialism and spiritual homogenization. This realization fills the scholar with a profound respect for Ethiopia's role as a guardian of divine knowledge. The scholar uncovers the systematic marginalization of the Ethiopian Bible by colonial powers. Missionaries and scholars labeled its texts as apocryphal or heretical, dismissing their significance. The narrative shifts to describe libraries and sacred sites destroyed in the name of civilization. The scholar is filled with sorrow, imagining the knowledge lost during this cultural pillaging. But amid the devastation, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church's resilience shines through, preserving its texts in hidden monasteries and mountain strongholds. The scholar vows to help bring these truths back into the light. The scholar turns to the Book of Baruch, a deeply emotional text lamenting the destruction of Jerusalem and humanity's fall into idolatry. The text resonates with the scholar, evoking parallels to modern spiritual apathy and materialism. Baruch's reflections on repentance and hope inspire the scholar to see the Ethiopian Bible as a guide for restoring humanity's relationship with God. The text's timeless message solidifies the scholar's belief that these books were preserved for a reason, to awaken humanity in times of spiritual crisis. As the scholar delves deeper into the Book of Enoch, they uncover haunting details about the Nephilim's enduring influence. These beings, born of forbidden unions between fallen angels and humans, were wiped out in the Great Flood, but their legacy lingers. The text suggests their spirits, restless and corrupt, became the origins of demonic forces that influence humanity's darkest inclinations. The scholar reflects on humanity's pursuit of forbidden knowledge in modern times, advances in artificial intelligence, genetic manipulation, and weapons of mass destruction. Could these pursuits echo the Nephilim's disruptive legacy? The scholar envisions humanity walking the same perilous path, led astray by the same temptation for power that once doomed the ancient world. The text leaves an ominous question: has humanity truly escaped the shadow of the Nephilim? The scholar shifts focus to angelic hierarchies described in the Ethiopian texts. The Book of Enoch and Jubilees emphasize the pivotal role of angels in maintaining cosmic order, acting as messengers, warriors, and enforcers of divine will. However, these texts also reveal the fragility of this balance, how even the celestial beings closest to God are not immune to rebellion. The scholar imagines the universe as a grand, intricate machine, its gears turned by angelic forces. This reflection leads to a startling realization. Just as angels have the power to protect creation, they also possess the capacity to shatter it. This duality, echoed in human nature, strikes a chord. The scholar becomes consumed by the parallels between divine and human struggles, deepening their quest to uncover why the Ethiopian Bible preserved these truths. The scholar explores Ethiopia's unique position as a nation that resisted theological and political domination by Western powers. The texts recount Ethiopia's isolation from major church councils, allowing it to preserve ancient traditions untainted by external influences. The scholar is struck by Ethiopia's portrayal of Christianity as deeply rooted in Jewish traditions and mysticism, standing in stark contrast to the streamlined orthodoxy of the Western Church. They reflect on how Ethiopia's preservation of texts like Jubilees and Enoch ensured a continuity of divine truths that were otherwise lost to the wider world. This realization inspires the scholar to view the Ethiopian Bible not as a relic of the past, but as a living testament to humanity's spiritual resilience. The Book of Jubilees, often dismissed by the Western Church, reveals startling prophecies. Its detailed cycles of history hint at divine patterns that repeat across ages, suggesting that humanity's struggles are not new but eternal. The scholar is captivated by its emphasis on faithfulness to divine law, showing how each deviation leads to inevitable chaos. Jubilees describes a future where humanity, overwhelmed by greed and power, will once again disrupt the cosmic order. This prophecy resonates with the scholar, who begins to see contemporary events, wars, environmental destruction, and technological advancements as warnings of humanity's growing disconnect from divine harmony. The scholar is left pondering whether humanity has the capacity to realign itself with God's plan, or if it is destined to repeat the cycle of rebellion and fall. The scholar discovers records of colonial-era missionaries labeling Ethiopian sacred texts as heretical or primitive. The rich mysticism of the Ethiopian Bible, rooted in cosmic visions and spiritual hierarchies, was intentionally suppressed to align with Western Christianity's emphasis on rationality and uniformity. The scholar visualizes missionaries systematically erasing cultural and spiritual diversity under the guise of enlightenment. These revelations stir anger and resolve within the scholar, who now sees their work as a mission to restore these lost spiritual treasures. They understand that the Ethiopian Bible's mysticism holds answers to questions the Western world has long ignored, questions about the soul, the cosmos, and humanity's ultimate purpose. The scholar is captivated by the Book of Enoch's vivid portrayal of the Son of Man, a divine figure of judgment who restores balance to creation by defeating fallen beings. This celestial battle emphasizes the eternal nature of justice. Reflecting on the connection between the Son of Man and Jesus Christ, the scholar sees Christ's role as part of a broader cosmic narrative. The prophetic imagery stirs a sense of urgency, highlighting that these ancient texts offer warnings relevant to today's struggles with moral decay, greed, and spiritual disconnection. Diving into the Ascension of Isaiah, the scholar follows the prophet's visionary journey through the celestial realms. Isaiah describes the Messiah's descent from the highest heaven, veiling his divine radiance to confront and overcome the forces of darkness on earth. This act of humility and sacrifice contrasts starkly with the grandeur of the celestial realms he leaves behind. The text vividly depicts the Messiah's struggles, death, and ultimate victory over Satan's dominion. For the scholar, this prophecy illuminates the universal significance of Christ's mission, blending themes of cosmic justice and human redemption. Isaiah's vision redefines the Messiah's role not just as a redeemer of humanity, but as a cosmic figure restoring order across the universe. Inspired, the scholar sees these texts as a call for humanity to embrace humility, compassion, and the power of light over shadow. The ancient message feels profoundly relevant, resonating with today's spiritual and moral challenge. The scholar uncovers the immense sacrifices made by Ethiopian monks to protect sacred texts. Amid invasions, political turmoil, and religious suppression, these monks risked their lives to hide the forbidden books in remote mountain monasteries. The scholar imagines their arduous journey, carrying scrolls through dangerous terrain, driven by their deep belief that these texts hold essential truths for humanity's future. These monks viewed themselves as guardians, preserving the texts for a time when the world would be ready for their wisdom. The scholar feels profound respect for their dedication, recognizing these acts as faith-driven resistance. This realization strengthens the scholar's resolve to bring these truths to light as guides for a spiritually lost modern world. The story concludes with the scholar addressing a modern audience, sharing insights from the Ethiopian texts. As the sacred scriptures glow behind them, the scholar recounts tales of the Nephilim, the Watchers, cosmic struggles, and the ultimate redemption foretold by Isaiah and Enoch. They stress that these texts were suppressed not due to their lack of significance, but because of their immense power to spark spiritual awakening. The audience listens intently as the scholar calls for humanity to reclaim these forgotten truths, realign with divine order, and embrace the wisdom preserved in Ethiopia for centuries. The scene shifts to the Ethiopian highlands, where monks continue their sacred task of safeguarding the texts. The story ends on a hopeful note. Humanity, guided by these ancient truths, embarks on a journey of rediscovery, reconnecting with its spiritual heritage and embracing cosmic harmony. The secrets of the Ethiopian Bible remind us that history and spirituality are deeply intertwined, offering us a roadmap to rediscovery and balance. If this journey inspired you, hit that like button, share this story with someone curious about ancient mysteries, and subscribe for more deep dives into hidden histories and spiritual revelations. Together, let's uncover the truths that connect us all.